Hey, what's up guys? Many of you have asked me what is my office setup to be able to do remote Zoom sales at a high level and build a lot of trust with my prospects, even though we're not shaking hands in person. So the goal of this video is to show you the A through Z setup that I have and have been running to build a multi-seven-figure business in the last few years. That being said, I will cover a lot of elements like monitor, camera, sound, lighting, and state management, which is, in my opinion, the most important thing. So let's get cracking. First things first, you will not notice in my office, the main thing is a standing desk. You want to be able to have two full positions when you're working long hours. One of them being sitting on a high quality, comfortable chair, and the second one being standing. This is purely a comfort feature. It won't change anything in your prospect's mind, but just you being comfortable will help you sell at a higher level. So the first step is a good standing desk. Don't get the cheaper one that you got to crank up or crank down yourself. Just get something automated. Last thing you want to do when you're in the middle of a sales call is having to crank up or crank down your desk because you want to change position. The second thing that I will recommend is a dual screener, dual monitor setup. The reason why is I want to have a large screen where I can focus 100% of my attention on my prospects. Yet, if I need to do a quick Google search, I have a second screen here that can help me pull up information without losing vision of the person that I'm talking to, their facial expressions and body language and things like that. So two monitor setup is really important, or at least two screens. And the second reason why is when you're not on a sales call and you're doing admin work, well, obviously you'll be a lot more productive and you'll waste less time if you have two screens to look at. You can copy paste information from one to another and so on and so forth. So we've already covered comfort here, the desk. Secondly, utility and performance here with two screens. Now let's talk about what your prospect sees. As you can see, my office is straight in front of a window where I get tons of natural light throughout the day. So what my prospect sees is my face very clearly lit by some natural light, which is way better than any kind of non-natural light. So getting light straight in front from a window is extremely important to make sure that people can see you very clearly and you're not like in the shades or anything like that. That's going to help build a lot of trust. More on top of what your prospect sees, you will see on top of my monitor here a Sony Z-1F vlogging camera, which is a few $100. Now the reason why I don't use my Mac camera, which is technically one of the highest quality cameras that a laptop comes with, is because this one is better. And if my prospect sees me better, they're gonna trust me more from the get-go. And if I see myself better on the call, that's gonna feed into my confidence, my state, and which is gonna help obviously with closing. So here you see my other camera, what it would look like, and you can see that it's a totally different experience. Obviously factoring in that I would put the camera in front of me, but still the quality of the video is nowhere near and prospects can't see me the same way. So high quality vlogging camera is important as well. And then about what the prospect sees, I want to talk about the background. I personally am not a fan of any fake background or blurred background, because this just really tells your prospects you haven't put the effort to put a polished background for yourself, and therefore you have to blur it or put something fake, which definitely doesn't inspire, doesn't build trust. So take 1 hour to build a polished background. As you can see here, it's very simple. I got a natural plant. I've got some, wood or wood door and wood looking door and a white background. And that's it. Everything is balanced when I'm standing here in the middle of in front of my camera. There's an element to the right. For me, that's the right. For you, it's going to be the left, I think. There's an element to my right and an element to my left, and I'm centered in the middle. And also, I just said I am centered. A lot of you guys, when we hop on Zoom, you're not centered on your camera. So for example, you're using your laptop camera, which is way down here, and then the screen isn't tilted properly. So for example, I only see half of your face, or I only see your neck up. I don't see your shoulders. I don't see what you look like. This doesn't build trust. So factor in those things. Ideally, you want your camera to be exactly at eye level, so that when you look at your screen, prospects see that you look exactly at them, like if you were in real life. So that's the monitor, that's the lighting, that's the camera. Now let's talk about what your prospects hears. As you can see, I don't use the cheap, well, it's not cheap, but I don't use the basic audio from my computer. I use a high quality podcast mic, which is called the Shure mic. You can look it up on Amazon and buy it. Again, this is one of those things that I think it's around $200. Monitor is around $200. This camera, I think, is a few $100. You can get a really high level office setup for less than $2,000. This office is probably $500, something like that, six. So we got a Shure mic. Make sure you get the most expensive model, because the other one won't have this connector here and it won't connect to your computer. You also want a high quality stand so that your mic isn't falling off in the middle of your meeting. And it allows you some flexibility of positioning so that it doesn't get in the way, it's close to your mouth, so it captures the sound correctly and all those things. So now that your prospect clearly sees you from natural light, you're centered in the middle of a screen, you got high quality sound, that is already going to make a massive difference compared to being on a laptop with lots of echo, poor quality camera, not centered, blurred background, or fake background. That makes a big difference. Those are all details that do add up. Now I want to talk about something else, which your prospects can't see, but they definitely can feel. And that is your state. How do you feel when you're working? Do you feel like somebody who is worthy of high-level business owners showing up and paying tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in life insurance? Or do you feel like somebody who's cheaping out and is attracting prospects that are cheaping out? What I mean by this is the tools that you use while you're working, which if you're working 5, 6, 7 days a week for hours every day, it's probably the room where you spend most of your time awake. Well, you want to invest in some high quality tools, a high quality pen that you're going to be able to write notes with, a high quality agenda that has your company name and logo on it that you feel proud to be using, you feel excited to use, a high quality keyboard and trackpad, a nice leather top on your office. Those are all things that you invest in that will pay tremendous amounts of dividends. Because what you're really telling yourself is, I am not cheaping out. I am worthy of getting clients that are not cheaping out. And obviously that's going to make you a lot of money if you get super high level clients that invest in some high level policies and don't cheap out. I also got a dedicated spot for either coffee or water at any given point during the day so that I can stay hydrated. There's a ensuite bathroom here, so I don't need to walk out of the office, take an elevator or whatever if you're in a real office. This is why I love working from home. Let me think if I'm forgetting about anything here. Obviously, we can talk about having fresh air. I always leave this window open during the day so I get tons of fresh air coming in. I don't feel like I'm stuck inside or anything like that. I try to incorporate plants in my office so that I feel more grounded and connected with nature. And one more thing. One thing I've noticed, if you're spending lots of time in one room, you don't want to have to hear echo. So what I did, I just moved into this property a week ago. So it's arriving tomorrow, but I've got 3 noise canceling panels, one of which I'll be putting here and 2 of which I'll be putting there. There are the whole length of this wall, and they're going to cancel any echo in this room. Because if you're taking calls, 10, 12 calls in a row over a 10 to 13 hour period daily, multiple days a week, and you hear echo, this is going to get you crazy. So make sure that you invest in everything that is a nuisance to you, or everything that you don't like, remove it from your office. As you can see, I don't have tons of paperwork or things that can distract me. This office is minimalistic, and it allows me to get everything done with the highest level of performance, intention, craftsmanship, and this makes a big difference over somebody who's just going to take their laptop, go sit in their kitchen, put a fake background, and then expect business owners to put $50,000 after 1 or 2 meetings in a policy. Hopes this makes sense. Below this video, I will be listing out all the items that I have in my office so that you can purchase them. There's no affiliate commission or anything. This is just to help you get higher levels of sales results in your business and make more money. I'll see you soon. Ciao.